When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everyone. Starting early today. How are you? Hey, Alan, good to see you. Chezzy, how's everybody? Hey, Marlene, how are you? Daniel, good to see you. As you're coming in, hey, Lori, Barbara, glad you could make it. Hey, Don. Hey, Mike Miller, back to cause trouble. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Robin. Good to see you. Hey, as you're coming in, please don't forget My Ears Are Not Like Yours. A great book coming up. We have Easter coming up now. We have birthdays coming up. Send a very positive message to children, to very young children, ages 4 through 9 or 10. Please go to Amazon.com. Get your copy of My Ears Are Not Like Yours. Thank you so much. People actually watch you. Yes, Mike, just like they actually watch you. Oh, that's right. You don't do scopes. Anyway, so as you're coming in, I'm going to read Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. I think that is a psalm today that we should all carry with us and remember. This has been, as you know, for the last couple of days, a horrible week since yesterday. Hey, Penny Arcade. Hey, Cully. And so I think we should be praying for the nation, praying for each other, and for the safety of everybody around us. Cling to God in these times. Yeah, I know, Robin. Hearing those bullets, that was really, really bad. Hey, Lee. It was very sad to see. Very sad to see that young people were laying there on the floor. God bless Mr. Fights, the coach that gave his life to protect those children. Absolutely, Shannon. That was the coach who, for the longest time, they wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not, and apparently he has succumbed to his injuries and is being hailed a hero. I've known people like that, that really risk their lives all the time, and that is absolutely biblical for him doing that. Hey, Jules, good to see you. Tragic and sad, about 20 minutes north of me, police are still blocking the roads. I'm sure they will be for days on end, Jerry. Trying to figure out why somebody did what he did. I hated that they shared the video of the bullets and screaming. I don't think the parents appreciate that. Yeah, I think they couldn't see the faces, and that's why they put out the video. It is very disturbing video, unfortunately, that it had to even have a video at all. Hey, Marnie. Yes, it's related to the incident, Brandon. He's going to be speaking in just an hour. It's going to be about the Florida shooting, and that's why we came on early today. Before we get a little bit further, I've been meaning to, for the last couple of days, to tell you about a Kate update. Kate is the young lady that who basically found out that she had colon cancer after she gave birth to her child a few months back. She almost didn't make it because she went into a coma. I got sad news on her that the cancer has now gone to her liver. So please, if you will, pray for God's miracle over her. She is being very strong. but you can see the pictures. Well, you can. They've shared pictures with me of her trying to go on and live as best that she can. But please just pray for her. Pray for a miracle for her, that she would be healed. I know. I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to hear that she was well and was on. Yes, Kate. The prayers are with her. Thank you for praying for Kate. I don't know how many more updates I'm going to get on her from the lady who gives me the updates. I think it's been very, hard for her. Hey, Hassan, sending prayers for Kate. How sad, but nothing is impossible with God. My husband's aunt had stage 4 lung cancer, and God completely healed her. So I know that nothing is impossible. I've also been healed by God physically. So nothing is impossible. That's why I'm saying, please pray. Don't give up your prayers. Don't give up on Kate. Yes, miracles happen. They absolutely do. And to God, to God, they're not miracles. They're every day with God. We just have to ask too. Good morning. Hope everyone had a great, happy Chinese New Year, Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and happy Valentine's Day too. I know you got it all in there, Hassan. Okay, so praying for Florida too. Yes, and Hassan, please pray for Kate in your prayers. Her cancer that was in her colon has now spread to her liver. Please pray for her. Waiting for the white media to say this white kid is mentally ill. Well, I don't think that we really need to be bringing race into anything. Hey, Amanda, please pray for my 15-year-old grandson has the flu. Absolutely, Barbara. Been a lot of flu going around. I know some people in here have the flu. Robin said she was healed from a blood clot instantly one time, so it absolutely shows you that God can heal. He just healed my cousin of a tumor in her bladder. There you go, Marnie. Yeah. He's Latino. Yeah, I don't know what he is. I don't really care what he is. I just care that a Florida shooting was allegedly done by somebody who decided that he was going to go out and kill people and premeditate killing people. We'll be praying for Kate. Thank you, Hassan. Lots of kids around here ending up in the hospital from the flu. Dixie said, yeah, it appears so. He was a throwaway kid, Barbara said. Yeah, I read something this morning, and again, all of these are allegations, but I read that the reason he got expelled from school is that he had a fight with his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend, and that's why he got kicked out of school. Hey, Danielle. I don't know if any of that's true, but I read that in a reliable source, so I guess we'll just have to, to wait and see. And also that I heard that he was allegedly had been abusive to his girlfriend. Got kicked out of because of threats on social media. He was marked as a risk, and his mother died recently. I heard. Oh, that's sad, Jerry. Yeah, I think that he was going to an alternative school at one time. The FBI was told about him too. Yeah, and from what I understand, they said don't allow him on campus. He wasn't allowed to come on campus at all, and no backpacks or anything else. Dawn said she grew up in that area. I know Cully lives close to that area. They interviewed one of the kids. He said they were not surprised. He had a picture of himself on social media holding a gun, Brandon said. Yes. Thomas researched his mom died, dad long gone, a family took him in. Wow. He posted killing animals. Yeah, when you see that type of thing, Cully, there's a pretty deep issue there. He's 19. Why was he 19? That's older. I don't know. How did he even get in the school? Well, he wasn't supposed to be on campus there, from what they were saying. And from what I read this morning, the AR-15 that he allegedly had, they said that he went and bought that himself and passed the background check. So somebody fell short somewhere. Jeffrey Dahmer stuff with the animals. Ugh, that's disgusting, Ralph. Instead of expelling these kids, they need to help them, Brandon said. Well, Brandon, having worked as a therapist in the schools, it's not up to you. Sometimes you have to ask the parents permission to do things. Sometimes the parents don't want you to do that. They don't want their children in therapy. Not much you can do. And I can tell you something. They said, they keep saying, if you see something, say something. If you knew he was like this, you needed to say something. How many times, and I'll tell you what, in California, How is it that freaking possible to sell an AR-15 to unstable person, reported to FBI? But Robin, we don't know exactly when he bought that gun. Was it before or after it was reported? I don't know. Crazy how much money we waste, yet afford to put detectors and guards in school. That we can't, afford to do it. Yeah. Hey, Monique. It's giving the kids what they want to get out of school and do nothing. Some schools do not lock down, and you can walk in. My grand school, you have to ring the bell, and they see. Yeah, I think. Okay, Danielle. I think one of the things that needs to be done. Dan Bongino gave a good talk last night about what you can do, and I really liked it. He was saying, the reason that the Secret Service walks so close to the president, it cuts down on the time that you have to act and do something if somebody's coming after the president. And so that's what we should, be teaching people how to protect themselves. Hello, Alexis. And so, that was a good thing to do. Also, he talked about making the area in the school able to shut down the area of the school and make it smaller so that people who come on and try to do something don't have a big area to move around in. It's okay, Monique. Thanks for coming in and listening. Good luck on your exam this afternoon. So, a lot of times schools you're able to go in there and you can go all over the place. How long will it take for the idiot liberals to realize teachers need to be armed, hire former military or police to protect our schools? Absolutely. Don said he had been treated for psychiatric problems, should have been a red flag when he went to buy a gun. Yeah, again, did all those people who were supposed to report, did they make a report? That's the big thing here. It's a company name, not always a big clip. I missed whatever that was, Barbara. Sorry. So I don't know. Again, you can't force somebody into mental health when they don't want to be seeking treatment. But what I was going to say is that, and I forget what I was going to say. It just went out of my mind. It's something about mental health. Oh, in California, for example, if you go in and you say somebody, if you went up and you said, yeah, this kid's doing this, and this, sometimes it's turned back on you. And you know that in your own states as well. Stop taking days off. I need my season fix. Thanks, Big Al. Big Al, I did do a Periscope yesterday, and I got shut down on the Periscope because some liberals came in and they didn't like what I was saying. So they apparently reported it, and it froze. So, hey, Faye, good to see you. There's no help for mentally unstable people. They have to do something first, Robin said. Well, there's a lot of things that you can do. I mean, there are people that can be helped. I've treated a lot of people that were helped and got on the right medication, and they were fine. But, a lot of times when people get on medication, they don't always stay on medication. Hey, Danielle, in Tennessee, you can't get a permit if you have mental health issues. I think probably, Danielle, if I had to guess, people didn't report what they were supposed to report. I don't know that for sure, but I'm guessing that it at least was part of the problem. What I don't understand is how, I guess if you're over 18, you're allowed to buy a gun. I thought you had to be 21, but apparently not. That campus has 3,000 students. 2 police officers are not enough. Correct, Robin, I agree. Armed guards in schools and metal detectors, it's time. Absolutely, Shannon. It's past time. We need metal detectors. Now, here's what this kid did. Oh, handguns are 21. Okay. AR-15. My God, that's worse than a handgun. That should have been, more deadly, I should say, Alan. That should have been part of it, too. Where's the shooter's dad? Brandon, somebody was saying a minute ago that the mom died, and I can't remember where the dad was. If somebody could tell Brandon. Hey, Denise, good to see you. Just wanted to say that yesterday's tragic news broke just as I was getting ready to post a happy Valentine's Day wish to everyone and stop me in my tracks. It's just my imagination, or can't see the rest of it, or is it getting worse? I'll have to look at that, Denise. Both parents are dead, Coley said. AR-15 is semi-automatic, just like most handguns, Susan. Yeah, but Brandon, aren't the bullets, a little bit bigger, do a little bit more damage, size of the bullet? That's what I think someone fell short in reporting, Dawn said, yeah. I just think you need to be at least 21 to own a firearm, but that's just me. I shot rifles and guns when I was like 10 years old, but I wasn't able to go out and purchase them, and I had to be supervised and all that. Hey, Tillett, Mrs. Tillett, how are you? So I don't know. I just think, but what this guy did, you can get a 30 round mag for a Glock handgun. Not in California. um, I think this guy, what he did too. Remember earlier in the day they had a fire drill. Hey, Marilyn, is that Marilyn? And he went in and he pulled the fire alarm switch, so that made everybody come running and made them all targets. Happy belated Valentine's Day. Thank you. Same to you. So he made everybody targets. That was a hard call right there. Even if you'd had armed guards, the thing that would have stopped him perhaps was him coming on altogether. Sounds good to me. 21 age to drink, and so no guns till 21. I know, Vic. I mean, you'd think. While our nation grieves, I pray metal detectors are installed and veterans are hired full time as security guards. Absolutely, Denise. Absolutely. Yeah, his biological father died 3 years ago and adopted mother last year. Yesterday was not only Valentine's Day, but Ash Wednesday, which marks the beginning of Lent for Catholics. Yes. That's true, Monique. Now another school teacher just reported she heard shots. Where is that? Are you talking the same place? Maryland? You mean in Cali you can buy as a teen? No, you can't. You can barely buy as an adult. So in California, I'm just saying, I didn't grow up in California. I'm just saying that these mass shootings always seem to do their shootings on special event days. I know, Monique. I was thinking that it wasn't a coincidence. Right up always from the other. Oh, right up away from the other school. Schools were on lockdown in San Diego yesterday as this was going on. Personally, do not believe you should be in the military until 21. Barbara said. He just gave future shooters ideas to use fire alarms for maximum results. That's right, Vic. Are you in Cali now? Yes, I am. But so I don't know. Yesterday they had 2 schools on lockdown, and the day before, I think it was the day before or the day before that, we had another lockdown in schools. So I don't know if what's going on. Seems to be a kind of a rash of things going on. I know in the one the other day, they did catch that person. It's not the gun, it's sin. Yep. Susan's moving to Texas. Chezzy said. News says adoptive father died 13 years ago and adoptive mother died 3 months ago. Hey, Veritas. Yeah, well, that's kind of not how we do that, though, BC. So, a lot of, here's what I saw yesterday. A pastor saying this. Yeah, they're going to blame Trump. They're going to blame Trump. Of course they are. Of course they are. They were already coming out, Pelosi and a Muslim activist, let's stop the violence. All of them got on TV as fast as they could yesterday. Yeah. Yes. Got my eye on a horse ranch near Denton, Texas, north of Fort Worth for you. Thank you, Barbara. You buy it, I'll move there. Did we ever blame Obama? Of course not. It was always, Marianne, it was always the Republicans' fault. Working in schools, have you seen a decrease in parent involvement over the years? Oh, involvement. You'd have to kind of get involved in order not to be involved, Dixie. A lot of parents have no idea. Not all parents. I'm not putting down parents, but the parents that I worked with basically had no idea what their kids were doing, who they were doing it with. They had no idea. Good morning, Debbie. Hello, Carmen. Just came on early today because of the president coming on at 11. Our senator was spouting lies this morning. Bill Nelson, of course. Good point. Not at all. All know, but I'd say at least, yeah. They need to pay more attention to mental health. As a vet, I have a question. Okay, I hope I can answer it. Saying it was an automatic. Oh, really, Marlene? But he doesn't know. So many shootings and terrorist attacks when Obama was in office and nothing. He was never blamed, and all they did was cry gun control. Yeah, they just blamed the Republicans. Hey, Georgia. Good to see you. Hey, Dawn. Good morning. Fortunately, it's a trend. It will eventually get worse. Yeah, here's the thing that I saw yesterday, and some of the pastors, one or two, that were saying this. They were talking about, hey, Jack, they were talking about, or Jackie, that we should have gun control because look at Europe. Look, Europe doesn't have this problem. It's only America. We hear this all the time. And here's what I have to say about this. What happens when you're in, oh, I don't know, let's say Sweden, someplace like that, and somebody from, okay, but I'm going to explain that to you, Scope. Somebody from another culture, another country, comes into your culture and your country and says, I'm going to do things my way. And maybe they, I don't know, break the laws and they have guns, or they rape women, or they do other crime. How are you then going, in your culture that doesn't like guns, how are you going to protect yourself? Are you going to say to these new people, oh, we don't do that here? And they're going to go, oh, okay, no problem. Honestly, Susan, in my opinion, I don't think there's been a single mass homicide by a shooter under the age of 25 who was not at some point using psychotropic drugs. Yep, could be true, Monique, very true. But does that make sense to you? I know it makes sense to you that are in the scope that usually come here. So you might not like guns, but that doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to use them. Any culture in particular you're talking about, you just pick one, Tumblr. They don't tell you Europe is being so invaded by terrorists and the police can't even protect their citizens, Robin said. Well, Robin, why would they want to tell you the truth? Hey, Scope, we like our guns. It's built into our Constitution. Yes, Susan, look at Sweden. I know, Amanda. That's all you have to do. I mean, I love these absolute people who are pacifists, but they're not living in the reality. In countries where guns are banned, knife attacks and other methods go up. Yeah, like, I don't know, trucks, cars. Look at Switzerland. By law, you have to own a gun. Low crime rate. Good block, Chesney said. Thank you. Parents don't parent anymore. Call of Duty spends more time with kids than the parents. That's absolutely true, Shannon, for most people. And if the kids are, they're in school, so the parents, of course, can't talk to them. But when they leave school, where do they go? They go to every activity under the sun you can think of. I've worked with homeschool kids and parents, and the difference is immeasurable. Yes, Dixie. Robin on YouTube homeschools her kids, and her kids are amazing. Ban guns, they still can get them, and explosives and other items. That's right, Jerry. And see, that's always the argument with the left who are standing there, the politicians who have bodyguards, who have the money to hire bodyguards, and also, people like movie stars and stuff like that. They can hire people with guns. Okay, so if you want me to believe that we should ban guns and everything's going to be okay, why don't you start with yourself, show me that what you're saying is absolutely valid and is going to work, and then maybe I'll think about it. No, but I'm just saying. So, I mean, to bring up that type of argument. I read with my kid and teach him my wisdom daily. Great kid, we need better parents. Exactly, Shannon. Not getting my family's guns, ban abortion first, there's your murder. Homeschool kids are intelligent, respectful, hardworking, and very well spoken and well behaved. That's right, Dixie, because they don't have a lot of negative influences on them outside of the home. Thank you, and I agree, Robin said. My kids are amazing, sensitive, and very loving. Yep. Because you spend time with them, Robin. It's called giving them attention and cultivating them, growing them. Okay. See you later, Scope. You try to give people a chance. Just doesn't work sometimes, but whatever. I don't know what's going to happen to this shooter. I think that he's probably, he's definitely going to be tried as an adult. Whether they'll use a psychological reason that he did what he did, it's very hard to do that and to be successful with that when you premeditated murder. Pharmaceutical industries need to be looked into and held accountable, as well as doctors who overprescribe and overmedicate children with dangerous drugs. Monique, won't happen because that's where all the money is. My daughter homeschools. A scoper said homeschooling isn't good. Yeah, well, that's because that person who said that, Debbie, was a troll. They're no longer here. So I think we should face the death penalty. He should face the death penalty. Just my opinion, Robin said. Trump is smart. He won't ban guns. He'll provide armed forces at schools. Yeah, the Watchman, I think that would be a great idea. Metal detectors, retired police, and veterans. And even off-duty, let's say military. Be perfect. Now, what you're going to have to do in some of the states like California, who will fight that tooth and nail because, one, they don't like the military, and two, they don't like police officers. You'll have to somehow be forced upon them. Parents need to monitor their kids' social media closer. Cully, maybe the kids shouldn't be on social media. I'm just saying, to a certain age, maybe they shouldn't even be on social media. Kids emulate what they see. They are being raised by social media, not parents. That's true. That's absolutely true. Kelly doesn't like homeschooling either. You think not, Alan? So, California, if that law goes into effect about homeschooling in California, they're going to have to be sued. And there's an agency, there's an organization that you can pay your dues to if you're a homeschool parent, and they will represent you if anything comes against them trying to stop your homeschooling or mess with it in any way. That's the organization that's going to have to do it. I think veterans, amazing idea. So many have PTSD, and school would be a good environment. Teachers need to be taught to shoot and carry permits. Yeah, if they're allowed to, Debbie, if they're allowed to. Again, you'll see California being the last place in the world. By banning homeschool, they are saying they know what's best for your children. And Brandon, they say that all along. Hey, Patrick, good morning. Glad you're back. There's a lot of things forced on us, like transgenders and bathrooms. They'll get used to it. That's what they hope so, Chezzy. Hey, Joseph. We have a governor who homeschools, thank God. Yes, you have a great governor. Robin, what is the name of the organization that helps homeschool parents and provides legal help for you if you need it? I can't remember. I'm the one that referred it to you, and now I can't remember the name. I've had him on my show, but that was so long ago, I can't remember the name. But that's an organization. If you homeschool, if Robin can give me that name, I'll let you know. HSLDA. HSLDA. Homeschool Legal Defense Association or something like that. If you homeschool, you need to, just my suggestion to you, you may want to look into this and getting legal advice. You can pay them so much per month. It's a very small amount. And they will help you, that if anybody ever challenges your homeschool abilities or your ability to have homeschool or whatever, then you can ask these people to represent you. And it would be, for me, to be very much worth my money. How much do you pay per month, Robin? I forget how much. It's a very low amount for the services you're getting. Trust me. It's $125 a year. So you have to ask yourself, are your kids worth $125 a year if you homeschool? My answer would be yes, but it's up to you to figure that out for yourself. I've not heard a good policy from the left on this issue. Their only response is ban guns. And that will always only be their response. Because if you don't have guns, the elites and the globalists can do whatever they want to do. And then, well, how are you going to protect yourself? The fear is, and I'll tell you the concern, why I have to address this gun issue together. Yeah, we don't need to do that. I know, Cully, it is cheap. And it's well worth it. And the lawyers that they have, I had one of them on my show. They're great people, great experienced people. Let me just tell you, the people that I know of who are in that group, you certainly wouldn't be paying, you would never get them for $125 a year, ever. Yeah, if martial law happens, they can take your guns. They can come into your house and take your guns. Just remember that. Robin said, yes, they are worth it. That's a very low cost for protecting your rights. Absolutely, Robin. If homeschooling is banned, then every school needs to be manned by either the military or trained law enforcement to protect children. I am all for homeschooling 100%. Monique, that can never happen. People who homeschool will never stand for that being banned. So take that off the table, because everybody would need to file a lawsuit. I'm telling you. Chezzy said she'd lose her life first for my cold, dead hands. Marlene said, yeah, I mean, people who are in California, again, if that happens in California and they're doing what they're proposing to do, which is to treat you as though you abuse your children, I mean, that's what it boils down to, that they can walk into your house at any time and talk to your children. You better sue. You had better sue. I would, but I'm not a parent, so I have no standing to sue. Our grandson has been homeschooled his whole life. He is 9 and has been tested 2 years above his peers. He's very socialized and doing very well. Well, Patrick, how odd. Not. Absolutely. That happens all the time. Homeschool kids are so much farther ahead than their peers because they actually study, they actually work, they get help from their parents one-on-one. It's great. Hello, how are you, Indra? It's your first day on Periscope. Welcome. Yeah, I think if you can afford homeschool to homeschool, do, and if you can't afford to homeschool, then maybe you're living in the wrong state, or your lifestyle needs to be changed where you can homeschool. So, just think about that. Schools teach the test and focus on lower skilled learners. That's true. Brandon, it's kind of like in some schools you go as fast as the lowest skilled person can go. I don't have kids and used to think homeschooling would create antisocial children. Boy, was I wrong. And what else, Joe? The homeschoolers now, they have baseball teams, football teams, social gatherings, etc., etc. The parents are there. Typically, they go together, so they're not missing out on any socialization. Common Core doesn't help either. That's true, Brandon. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Monique, I'm telling you, it better not happen. It better not happen that they take away homeschool. And parents need to fight that to the death if they do. Tim Tebow was homeschooled. Yeah, there you go, Shannon. Plenty of lowest common denominators in public school. A lot of outside social activities. Absolutely, Debbie. I know many friends who homeschool their children, and they have exceeded far beyond those who were not homeschooled. Yes, I went to public schools. So I know what it's like in public schools, and it was, for the most part, this was a long time ago, of course. The people in school, in your class, who were doing the least amount of work, it's kind of the pace of the class. So if you were, able to be challenged more than that, you weren't. You just sat there. Ones I worked with meet weekly, do field trips, get together in summer. It's really great. Joe said, yep, I had kids today at homeschool private Christian. Jerry said K through 12 is free. State curriculum, I didn't get all of that. If you guys don't mind, we're at the halfway point. Would you please retweet this? Yeah, things are different now, Debbie. Any of us that are now dealing with kids adopted from foster care system know this evil. We adopted 6. These kids are bruised from birth. You can do everything right with these kids, but there's nothing you can do. See, that's the thing, Dawn, too. People think that if you have kids that have been, let's say, physically, mentally, sexually abused, or whatever the case may be, that giving them a good home that's going to take care of all the problems, and it's not. A lot of them need to continue to have therapy because it's just so much. Following a curriculum like Common Core really helps the parents out too. Common Core? Common Core doesn't help anybody. True with damaged souls, Barbara said. Yep. School vouchers should be given to you so you can pick the school for your child. Yep. So glad my kids are grown, Debbie said. No kidding, Debbie. Gosh. I can't imagine, like, putting kids in school now and having school-age kids into Common Core classical conversations. Yeah, Common Core, as far as I'm concerned, is a detriment to families. Because you can no longer help your kids on homework at all. You can forget about it. And that's the whole point. So that you won't be able to go to your parents, you'll have to go to the school. I have 2 still in school, Ralph said. Ugh. No bueno, Ralph, no bueno. I went to both public and Catholic, did great in the Catholic, but was bullied and beaten up in Chicago public schools. Sad, Monique said. Yep. Get rid of Common Core. Common Core is the worst thing ever. Yes, Joe, it absolutely is. My kids are more social than they've ever been, Robin said. And her kids have tested at college level in many areas. And they're what, like 14 and 12 or something? It's ridiculous. I believe we need Jesus Christ back in the schools would help a lot. Oh, yeah, Robert. Tremendously. And the thing of it is, Robert, we used to have Bibles. They would teach the Bible in public schools. Oh, gosh. Gotta have trolls. The world doesn't go around. Mile High Dad. There you go. Whew, that says a lot right there. 13 and 15. Yep, and Robin's kids are 13 and 15 and testing on college level in a lot of areas. Ban cell phones at school. Absolutely, Brandon. Thank you, Chezzy. The kids would come to me to be, for their therapy sessions, and I'm not kidding you. They would want to sit there and type on their phones as I was talking because that's what they do. And they don't even care. And I'd like, okay, put your phone away. Put your phone away. Given a Bible at school, most treasured thing, Lee said. But the kids, they go ahead and they text all day long. They don't care what the teachers say. They don't care. And also, there are schools that if you take the phone away from the kids because they were texting and not doing what they were supposed to do, guess what happens? The parents come and complain and say, give my kid back his phone. I'm not, well, you probably know that, but I'm not kidding. Disrespectful punks, Marlene said. If it's an emergency, they can go to the principal's office to call in and out. Yep. Sorry, I'm used to saying CC for classical conversations. A classic homeschool curriculum. That's great. Teaching kids how to socialize and talk to each other. That's a wonderful program. They should have that in public schools, but they don't. I think sometimes the only place you'll see that in public schools is in the special education area. In a society that allows abortion, young people see no value in life, Barbara said. The punks beat the teachers up for taking their phones, Ralph said. That's true in some instances. My kids don't have phones. We take them everywhere. We take their friends' places. We are 100% involved in everything they do, Robin said. Good for you, Robin. Good for you. See, it used to be you just showed up as unavailable. Of course. I mean, you know, Penny, every single day, that's what happens to me. Either Twitter doesn't allow my show to go through or Periscope. So I'm not surprised. Smarter kids are being left behind these days in public schools. They are bored. Yes, Brandon. I skipped the 12th grade because I was so bored. I wanted to go on to college, and that's what I did. I work special ed, and it's hard to find conversational skills there too, unfortunately. Yeah, I know, Joe, not every school does it. I've seen some schools that teach social skills for special education, which is great. Truthfully, last night, I couldn't hardly stomach listening to the kids. Last night, Valley Girls. Oh, yeah, Marlene, I didn't listen to too much of it. I can't even almost imagine what the parents of those that have died, what they're going through, and the hell they went through yesterday, and the hell they will continue to go through for the rest of their lives. I can't even almost imagine. They can't communicate, Marlene said. Yeah. Yep, they can't. That's the way they've been taught to speak, and that's the way their friends speak. My kids have friends in public school, and they have begged their parents to homeschool. Their parents won't do it. I pray they change their minds. Most schools let them have in the backpacks or lockers, but can use in common areas during breaks. And see, Barbara, that's, you know, I don't have too much of a problem with that. But I remember as a kid, I had to go to a payphone in the school if I wanted to call my mother, you know, and we had riots in our school. We had race riots in our school. So I know things are a little different today, but, you know, they're similar in a lot of respects. I think in an emergency, it's great to have a phone, and you should have one, you know, in your backpack, but don't take it out during school. When I observe schools periodically, all the attention is placed on slower learners. Yeah, a lot of times that's true. 2 + 2 = 4, no matter how you spin it. No, Debbie, under Common Core, 2 + 2 can equal 5, and it's still a right answer. It depends on how you got there. In this world, I want my grand to keep his $800 phone with him. Well, yeah, I think so, Barbara. But I don't think he needs an $800 phone, just saying. There are other things that he could have that, you know, could work just as well. I had to go to the office to call my parents when I was in school. I know, Robin, me too. Basis 6. Hey, Woodcarver, how are you? Josette, good day. My Sue didn't know you were on. I forgot POTUS has to speak. For condolences to you guys, praying for all of you. Thank you, Josette. Yeah, he's coming on at 11, so decided to come on early. And I know afterwards everybody will be back on the airwaves again, so. Yeah, I think there's some cheaper phones that kids could use. All you need is the ability to call out or text. That's it. You don't need to be able to do anything else. Common Core is long-form gibberish that complicates even simple math. That's right, Brandon. I mean, I'm serious about that. At one point, they said, too bad, I guess years of doing nothing to stop school shootings hasn't worked to stop it. Yeah, well, Paint Master, nobody's really tried to stop it. All we do is say, oh, another shooting, and then we just go on. If they want to have phones in school, they should be flip phones like I had just for emergencies. That's right, Julia. Saddest thing ever for the parents and children. I think anytime there's a school shooting at one school, it impacts every school across the nation. Yeah, it does. But I think what schools need to do is, metal detectors, military and veterans, and police officers. Parents of special needs children also don't know their IEP rights, and kids don't get the help they need. That's true in a lot of instances. It's true. People say thoughts and prayers are change their profile pic, then move on. That's right, Brandon. That's exactly right. And again, in states like California, they're not going to put the military there. They're not going to put metal detectors there. They're not going to do any of that. School shooting is a modern phenomenon since 1998 in Columbine. Please speak English because we don't speak anything else in here. We don't read other languages. Yeah. It is commonplace, and that's the way it is. And a lot of it is, we always like to blame the gun. You've got to look at other things. You've got to look at the ills of our society. And there are ills of our society. You've got to look at the parenting. You've got to look at what the kids are being taught. And, that the fact that God has been taken out of our almost everything. And if you're not willing to look at that, then you're going to blame everything else. Assignment grades, etc. Send to kids online. AR-15s are not the type of gun law-abiding people need. Well, it says you. There's law-abiding people that have AR-15s that are law-abiding people, and they should have whatever they want. Class sizes are huge. Teachers are expected to do too much, and kids often suffer. Kids are numb to violence. Suicidal people now wanting to take people with them. Ralph said the shooting is a deeper symptom of a deeper issue. That's right, Brandon. My children were grieving over the school shooting. When my husband came home from work yesterday, the first thing he said, "I'm so glad we homeschool. This has been heartbreaking." Yes. Okay. So you have to speak English because we don't. Absolutely, and amen, Monique said. Yeah. So let me give you a couple of other things in the news. George Soros has now dumped his Facebook stock. And he's purchased a lot of Overstock.com. Why are we getting the Muslim-looking trolls? I have no idea, Barbara. People who go to parenting class are also being taught by people who have no kids. Well, Debbie, you can be taught by people with no kids. To be, if those people are intelligent people. So you have to see what they're saying. Who bought stock? Soros bought stock in Overstock.com. Paint master. Guns aren't just for hunting food. That's not what the Constitution. That's not what the forefathers said, that you could only use guns for food. With all this sadness, they are still hammering General Kelly on Rob Porter, but he didn't resign. Of course, they are just said, "Hey, Gary, good morning. We came on early because the president's going to speak in about 15 minutes." Let's see. Hey, Denise, my post to you earlier was just reviewed and marked as spam. Oh, that's great, Denise. Crazy. Maybe you can send me a private message, Denise. Let's see. In Ogden, Utah, there were rules that were made for a Valentine's Day dance at an elementary school. And the elementary school, they told the kids that when you go to this dance, you're not allowed to say no to somebody who asks you to dance. Does anybody see anything wrong with that? Robin said, "I wish Soros would go away. He is so evil." Evil lives on through his children when he goes, I'm sure. The big issue. Yeah. So what happened was the parents said, wait a minute, you're telling me that my child, yeah, Bill Clinton would love that dance. Everything is wrong with that, Marlene said. Yeah, I mean, you're going to tell a child, oh, if somebody tells you they want to do something, you can't say no. Are you kidding me? So the parents said that sends a wrong message to the girls. Dawn said, yes, since when we can't decide who we want to dance with. Exactly. Yes, girls or boys should be able to say no always, right? Horrible message. Yep, that's ridiculous. Excuse me, can't say no to a dance. Did Soros get stock tips legally? I have no idea. Did he do anything legally? Facebook is making some of my Christian posts as spam and then a few minutes later reversing it. Oh, that's great. Girls ask boys these days, true. Well, the parents got upset about it, and they went in, and the school had reversed that opinion. I can't see. I mean, if you're not involved with your child in school, you know none of that. And so you may be sending your kid to a dance. Of course, you know what? I don't remember in elementary school having a dance. Do you? It's just, isn't that a little bit young to have a dance? Kids should always be given a way to say no respectfully. Exactly, Joe. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to even suggest that. My husband has lost his Facebook account for his conservative writing. That's too bad, Barbara. Maybe he can come back as his middle name or something. Praying our Lord's divine protection over our nation for the swift intervention with everything George Soros is trying to do to our society. We had to square dance in Virginia, Ralph said. I would have been in someone's grill in a heartbeat, Debbie said. I know. Not until junior high. Yeah, I don't remember. For us, I don't even think we had junior high dances, but I remember in high school we had the prom. I think that was the only dance that we had. And now I know there are plenty of dances all the time. Here they started having dances in middle school, Robin said. Is President Trump going to be down in Florida? Probably not, Brandon. Probably in Washington. I don't know if he's going to go to Florida. I mean, I don't think that he should go down to Florida right now. I think he would be in the way. I think they need to have people, focused on what's going on and allow them to be able to be at the school and look and see what's going on rather than having the president coming through and everybody's traffic stopping and all that other stuff. Maybe if he wants to go later on, I don't know. Our church has a prom for homeschoolers. There you go, Robin. That's a great thing. He is headed to Florida tomorrow, but that was planned. Okay. Where's he going tomorrow, Ralph? We had to square dance in gym in elementary school, too. Yeah, we didn't have dances like that. And not unless it was during class and it wasn't a dance. It was a part of the teaching. But yeah, I know, Ralph, is he just going to Mar-a-Lago for the weekend? Is that what you're saying? So he was scheduled to go for the weekend, is what you're saying. Okay. For all those people who, let's see, it's to teach social grace in a formal setting. It's a one-time thing here anyway. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I think, Lisa, they should have it as part of a gym class or something, like in elementary school where kids are kind of like dancing with each other, but not a formal dance. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's not really a planned dance. It's just part of your PE class. Yeah, we did that in gym. Yeah, so I think we did too. And that way you learn. The square dance unit and PE, bad memories. Julia said. There are elementary school dances now, 6th grade and up, Barbara said. I hated the Sadie Hawkins dances. I didn't want to invite a boy to a dance. We didn't have those. We just didn't have those. This is, my mom forced me to go to a cotillion dance etiquette class when I was young. Well, Brandon, it was probably a good thing, even though you didn't like it at the time. It was probably a good thing. Our library used to have youth dances to teach manners. Manners? What's that, Barbara? Manners? You mean you can decide what the manners are for everyone else? I mean, that would be it today, right? That would be what people would be saying. Who are you to tell my children what manners are? No one knows anymore. Yeah, what a concept, manners. Huh. Thing of the past. Who needs manners anyway? And whose manners should we follow? Very early in the West Coast. I know, Mark. We're on early today. There's some other information coming out, and this is by the VA Secretary David Shulkin. A Republican member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee calls on the VA Secretary David Shulkin to resign Wednesday after an internal investigation found that he had improperly accepted Wimbledon tennis tickets, and charged taxpayers for his wife's airfare during a European trip last summer. Republican Mike Kaufman from Colorado, an Army veteran and retired Marine Corps officer, tweeted that Shulkin must resign now. It was like an 87 report that came out, and he is denying every bit of it. So he said he did nothing improper, and he attacked the investigation as containing the threat of bias. He said a report of this nature is a direct assault on my spouse, my character, and my unblemished record of service to the Veterans Affairs Administration. So I think that, he is due his due process, and we should wait and see if any of it is true. Who knows? Big old pain in the hiney. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But that's, you have an 87-page investigation. That's not looking too good. Side note, have you watched the Olympics? I watched a little bit, Brandon, but not a lot. That happens, didn't our previous president take his entire extended family on a vacation to Hawaii? Yes, but that's different than the VA secretary. Or somebody like that. The president can do almost whatever. Taking all of his family if he wants. I think let's see, living Olympics, or you're loving the Olympics, Barbara said. Okay. That's so sad, yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. The president can kind of do whatever they want. They took Michelle's mother, but then they said that the mother was, watching the children, so. Hillary and her family can go to Haiti for their trip. Hey, Carmen. Well, and they can also get married on the money that they were given, Brandon. So, what's going to happen with NAFTA? I have no idea. Ice skaters or snowboarders have been great. Yeah, I've seen some of that, and that's been pretty good. I guess there's a new story coming out about Reince Priebus. And they're saying that Reince Priebus convinced Jeff Sessions 2 times to stay on as Attorney General. They're saying Sessions offered his resignation to the president in May 2017 after the president supposedly called him an idiot and belittled him to his face in an Oval Office meeting when he recused himself from the Russian investigation. Now, again, these are allegations. I don't know if they're true. This came out from the Washington Examiner. Upon hearing this, Priebus said that can't happen. He left. I guess Sessions at that point left. And then Priebus went out to the car and asked him to stay, brought him back in, and kept him from being fired. And as special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation heated up in June, Trump ordered Priebus to get Sessions to resign flat out as he grew increasingly frustrated, and he openly called the Attorney General weak on Twitter. President told him, "Don't give me any BS. Don't try to slow me down like you always do. Get the resignations of Jeff Sessions." And that's what was told to Vanity Fair. Doubt President would call him an idiot in person, Barbara said. Jeff is a pansy who cares too much of what others think of him. Follow the law and do your job, Brandon said. If true, at least it was to his face, not behind his back. There you go, Debbie. Here's a Bible verse for you all. Enjoy 1 John 4:19. We love because he first loved us. Thanks, Hassan. 1 John 4, verse 19. I wouldn't believe anything Vanity Fair writes. I wouldn't either. That's why I said you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Everything. Everything. Because you don't know who's lying these days. Seriously. There's another story out that a Colorado teacher, let's see, was she fired? Let me find out. She was charged with child abuse and assault Tuesday after she allegedly forced a student to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. She faces, hey Jules, she faces child abuse recklessly with injury and third-degree assault charges. This is what Fox 31 reports. Citing the Boulder District Attorney's Office, she was released on Wednesday with a summons. She was placed on paid administrative leave earlier this month when she was accused of forcefully making a student stand. Okay. Let's see. She pulled the student up allegedly by grabbing his jacket to pull him to his feet. And she's been with the school district for 20 years. So, No, there were no injuries. No, I think that's with injury and third degree assault charges. The injury could be emotional abuse or emotional disturbance, or whatever the. I don't know what the Colorado law is. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical. Yeah, no retirement for her. Can't put your hands on kids. That's one thing. Probably eyes of the friggin' brats. Tired of the friggin'. Well, probably D. But she can't. She can't put her hands on the kid. That's the one thing. Never touch it. Yep, Carmen, we're waiting for the president who's coming on at 11. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and end a couple minutes early so everybody can get to your TV sets and see the president. If you want to watch the authorities giving their press conference right now, you can do that. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing just like we did last Friday, so open options, so that we're going to come there and talk about anything we want to talk about. So you're welcome, Dixie. Thank you. All right, everybody. So God bless you. We get to watch the rinse and repeat massacre speeches from the usual suspects. And yep, Gary, we do. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. And stay safe. And again, we'll talk to you tomorrow as the open options show that we have. I like that on Friday. I think it kind of gives us a chit-chat Friday. There you go, Carmen. Gives us a way just to talk about anything that we want. All right, everybody. God bless. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Ugh. It does that every time I try to go off a Periscope. Why? All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. Take care.